Running a full 5k without stopping when you're a brand new beginner feels absolutely impossible. I know because I've been there. There's also a lot of very well-intentioned advice out there about downloading this app or that app, running this pace, tracking this spreadsheet, timing that, or buying this piece of gear. But honestly, that stuff does run the risk of making things a lot more complicated than it perhaps needs to be. You get yourself bogged down in the weeds, overwhelmed with facts and stats, and before long you're thinking, what is the point in even starting? Again, I've been there. But here's the real truth. You don't actually need any of that stuff. They're nice to haves. They're certainly not need to haves. You can run a full 5k without stopping in a much more simple, natural and enjoyable way, and I'm going to show you how. When I first started, I didn't have a plan, I didn't have the special running shoes. In fact, the shoes I did have were flapping at the front, they were broken. All I did was simply go to my local field and said, right, let's just travel a 5k. It was very unserious. It was a mix of walking, running, jogging, trotting, rolling, strolling, whatever worked. I just travelled the 5k and I did it with a smile on my face. And that really is the most crucial bit for your first ever go. It doesn't need to look like proper running, whatever that may be. All you need to focus on is covering that 5k distance and just finish. My method really was as simple as it could possibly get. Run when you can, walk when you can't. Just forget about timing the exact intervals, 1 minute of walking to 2 minutes of running or vice versa. I really didn't do any of that until much further on in my running journey. I'd push myself right up until the point where I thought I need to slow down, and then I'd walk until I felt able and recovered enough to start running again. And that really is it. There's no numbers, no watch checking, just listening to my body, running when I can, walking when I can't. And over time, the running sections naturally got longer and the walking sections naturally got smaller. That is the real secret sauce to this method. The only bit of structuring that I did do was time it. That's not because I cared about the numbers, it's because it gave me a target. The next time I ran, my only goal was to finish a little bit quicker. And that could mean shaving off 30 seconds, a minute, 1 second, or even if the walking breaks got slightly shorter, it didn't matter. If I was moving, I was winning. And this is way less stressful than spending time comparing yourself to other runners on Strava or pace charts or anything like that. The only person you're in competition with is you. You also don't have to run every single day, and in fact I recommend that you don't. When I started, I ran a couple of times a week, and I'm now finding that 3 days a week is about the sweet spot. Some days were rough, a real slog, and other days were incredible. I felt on top of the world. The times didn't always drop with every single run, but that's okay. Over the weeks and the months they did. And that's the real secret, if there is a secret. It's not about the intensity, it's about the consistency. Just keep showing up, stacking those runs. Consistency beats intensity every day of the week. Keep stacking those runs and the improvements will sneak up on you. The hardest part isn't going to be in your legs, it's going to be in your head. If a 5k feels a bit too overwhelming, then all you've got to do is shrink it down a little bit. I'll just make it to that tree, or I'll make it to that lamppost, or I'll keep running to the end of this song. And if you string enough of those little wins together, before you know it, you've hit your 5k. And if you do really need a mantra, then please just take mine. Run when you can, walk when you can't, but the most important thing is keep moving forward and you will see progress. So if you want to run a 5k using my method, here is all the things you need to remember. Don't overcomplicate it. You don't need all these bits and bobs, just get out and do it. 2, cover the distance however you can, running, walking, strolling, rolling, just get your 5k done. My mantra for number 3, run when you can, walk when you can't. I promise you that will help a lot. And most importantly, 4 and 5, time it and then beat it. That is how you see improvements. And that's it. That is my method. There's no expensive apps. There's no £200 running shoes. There's no pace charts. We are just running, listening to our body, and most critically, trying to enjoy ourselves. Do subscribe for more.